everybody. This is the 3P by Wyste, and it is a magnetic friction free-floating slider with brass plates, and it came out a little over a year ago, but I need to document it in my collection, and you might be out there looking at one on a buy-sell trade or a used one, and maybe the information I can provide here will be useful to you. So, please stick around. Okay, so this is made by Wyste, or a fellow named Wyatt Adamson, and you may know him more for the Kefri, and that is the fidget spinner that has the sliding capability. This would be his slider, which came out before the Kefri, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But prior to this was one called just the 3PB for brass, and you'll notice it does not have the removable plates that this does. And this did come out after the Whatchamawhatsit by Modus Works, but I do not believe this has quite the interchangeability on the inside. It's been a long time since I've taken this one apart, and actually what made me want to do this was, one, I was just eager for something to do, and I do need to cover all my older pieces, because this is sort of my video record of my collection, and hopefully, like, 50, 100 years from now, those guys on the Antiques Roadshow might be able to use this information. So, what was I saying? Yeah, what made me want to do this was, one of the things that made me want to do this, I've been meaning to catch up on older stuff, but Zachary over on Fidget Nerd just did a review on his Whatchamawhatsit from Modus Works, and he's more of the, he knows all about the Wrapped and everything Modus Works related. This has been around for a while, and he did a very thorough review. His is a little bit different than mine. I mean, his kit, mine has, I believe, micarta inserts in it, but seeing that, I didn't want to jump in and do my video about what my opinions are on this one, at least not for a little while. He just did his video 10 days ago, so I'll hold off on that. But it did make me think, well, I never really did talk about this one. I did a short for it, but I don't think I ever did a video for it. So it is actually works a lot better than this does, I think. Stainless steel. It came with this card. Let me get that up where you can see it. So mine must be number 8, and nice little diagram. I like that metal plate. That's interesting. So I got that, and it also came with a few extra parts, which is awesome. Always awesome. I've got 2 extra magnets, 2 extra screws, and then a few extra little, looks like he used a hole puncher and punched out some spacer material, maybe out of some craft paper there. And then there's also an Allen wrench included. So he hasn't made these in a long time, and I think I'd be surprised if there wouldn't be an interest. I can't do many more tricks than what you're seeing right here, but this one does lend itself to being spun around like I'm trying to do here. Not very well, but behind the back, because it's so small. But the brass plates make it nice and slippery. I haven't had any issues with it. Now, I'm not a huge user of this thing, or of any of my friction sliders, really. It's how we started out, but I quickly kind of moved on to other things. Not to put these down in any way. I do like it very much, and I do like friction sliders in general, but in general, I haven't been collecting those. I've been collecting ball sliders, which can also be friction sliders usually, and anything else like tracked sliders and anything more, the more mechanically interesting, the better, I think. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and take a peek on the inside of this thing. Before we get too far into it, I always forget, I want to get these things out of the way ahead of time. Let's measure it, and then we'll compare it to a few things, and we'll weigh it. Let's see here, I'm 37 millimeters tall, looks like, 20 wide, 13 thick. Try to stand it up on its end so the magnets don't interfere with the scale as much. About 57 grams. You know, I think he wrote that on here. Let's see what he said. 54 grams. Might have measured it without, you know, any magnetic interaction, or who knows. Close enough, right? So, comparisons. Let's go with the usuals. Mackie CP3. Metal Toys DZ Top B. And one I thought that was pretty close to was the Pod from 01 EDC. Of course, those are tracked and mechanical, quite different. To compare it to other friction sliders, I've only got like 4 other friction sliders, I think, that really qualify for that. I'm sorry. I have the, well, I have to think about this one. It's from Fidget Things. It is not the Chill Pill. I'll put it up here. I feel terrible for not knowing what that is. And I have, this is stainless steel with brass plates, and this is aluminum with Teflon plates. And I also have Durlin plates for this too, but Teflon is really what it's all about. Another one, let's just compare these in size as well in case you happen to have one of these. Then we have the Cube or the Square from Gal Studio. This one can be a real pincher. Not so much this little one though. And then this one, which is also from Fidget Things, is the Tactile, all brass. So those are my friction sliders, and out of all of them, including this one, which I will try to demonstrate here, like there are 3 different inserts for this, I believe, and right now I have the one that has 4x4 magnets, and I also have the foam that came with it in there, and I want to take that out. I'm not going to do that on this show, but this episode, this vlog, whatever you want to call it, this review. But when we do review this, we'll take that foam out and see what it sounds like without it. It's funny because that wasn't that rattling sound that everybody likes, the crunchy sound. When these first came out, nobody ever said anything about that, I don't think. Then it just sort of came out of the blue, and then it is, I like it myself. And I'm kind of wondering, it's been so long since I opened this one up, I'm wondering if there's foam or any kind of a dampening material in this one that we might be able to take out and see how it sounds without it. But honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember what is on the inside of this. It's been so long. So let us go ahead, and I've compared it with everything. We weighed it, we measured it. Next thing we'll do is take it apart. So I found, it came with that little Allen wrench, but I found that a 0.05 Allen seems to fit properly. So I'm going to keep it partly together. Okay, the screws are magnetic. this back piece. No, there's no dampening. There is some really nice laser etching that I forgot about. Now, if you're not aware, this is designed on the Pez, the shape of a Pez candy, which I love Pez candy. I love Pez candy. I don't like the dispensers. I think the dispensers are goofy, but it's a collector's thing. I do like the candy. I like the shape of the candy, actually. And you know what I've actually really always wanted was somebody to design a Pez dispenser that was different than the ones that have the little heads on them. Make something neat, like fidgety, you know? But here we go. Nice, the brass, I forgot how this operated. I didn't know if there was an insert or not. I better not move that. The friction plate itself is also what holds the magnets in place. So it's not like the whatchamawhat's-it or anything. There's no interchangeability. You could try probably thinner magnets if you wanted to. I'm almost certain that I don't have any that are of that size. And these would appear to be, I don't know if he uses metric or English, but I'm getting about 6 millimeters. And they can't be much more than about, let me look at that from an angle. Oh, they can't be much more than 2 millimeters thick, if that. But they're fairly strong, so that's a good layout. These are the holes for the screws. Screws go directly into the body. And it is slightly magnetic. It's stainless steel, but it is slightly magnetic. It doesn't harm anything. So let's go ahead and put this back together. Yeah, I think if you can get your hands on one of these, whoops, I've seen them, I don't know if you ever did the version 2 in brass, but I know when it was initially out, it was in brass, titanium, and zirconium, I think. Pretty sure about that. And I know I've seen people that have done surface treatments on this. Titanium that's been flamed or otherwise had color added to it. But I always stick with stainless steel. This one does, I have to say, after a period of time, I don't know if it does sort of have a patina on it. And that could be, you know, the fact that it's magnetic means that there's a higher iron content in there, I think. And that could mean a slight layer of rust, which I don't care one bit at all. I mean, I love this thing. I think it looks fine. But just a thought. And, you know, I think that's going to about sum it up. If you have any questions, like I said, these haven't been available for a long time. He should consider, I'll bet he can sell some now. I know people are after that Kefri pretty bad. So, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.